Many of you have asked me what is going on in Iceland. We have a lot of earthquakes there. So is this the start of the next eruption? The last one has been in July. So this time the system is taking quite a lot of time. But we have reached a huge volume of magma accumulation there. But if we look at the earthquakes that have been happening in the whole country, so let's look over a few days, it's been quite intense. And if you look at the green stars, these are the earthquakes basically above magnitude 3. You're wondering what's going on there. Is this the North Atlantic rift system that is tearing Iceland apart? Well, it seems so, but with that, if you have a piece of pizza dough and you tear it apart, you can get holes, you can get cracks, and you can have the chance that magma is reaching the surface. Not if you bake a pizza, but here in the case of Iceland. And you also see this is if we switch from the maps of the whole country to the maps of the Reykjanes Peninsula, you can see where these earthquakes are. And if we look at the map or at the table, which ones were the biggest ones above magnitude 3, you see that here. So for Iceland, over several days, from starting Sunday going into Monday and into Tuesday, such a dense swarm of earthquakes with earthquakes in the higher magnitude is quite interesting. So is there something else brewing that is not part of the danger that is hitting Svartsengi and Grindavik with these repeated eruptions? We're reaching about 22 million cubic meters of magma have accumulated in the magma chamber underneath the Blue Lagoon and the Svartsengi power plant since the last eruption. So to be precise, 22.6 million cubic meters. The magma accumulation is continuing as we speak. So what the scientists are telling us, the most likely scenario in the coming weeks is a magma flow from Svartsengi into the Sundhnúkur crater series, where we have seen all these eruption cycles, right? The repeating eruptions. So this could be another eruption. Could be a magma intrusion, but it could also end up in an eruption. And if an eruption occurs, the eruption is most likely to be comparable to the events that have occurred so far at the Sundhnúkur crater series. Some of them have damaged Grindavik, have threatened the important Svartsengi power plant. So you see the satellite images that span the period of August 9th to January 30th, and it shows the land rise underneath Svartsengi. The other map that you see here is from the Iceland Meteorological Office. That's their risk assessment, right? So the darker the color, the higher the risk. And you see Grindavik, you see Svartsengi, you see in red, you see that's where the eruption sites were. And of course, these swarms of earthquakes near Eldey, that's this big rock that's a little bit off the Reykjanes Peninsula in the water. It hasn't stopped. And we have to say, when we look at the past few months, this is the strongest and longest swarm that has hit Iceland since in the last few months. We're reaching like close to 500 earthquakes. That's massive. Most of the swarm is happening at Eldey, but it's a very strong swarm. So it causes also earthquakes in more distant regions of southern Iceland. And again, I show you the map of whole Iceland again. In the last 2 days, we're reaching almost 600 earthquakes. That's a lot. Strongest earthquake was magnitude 3.9. That's quite significant. Very shallow, only 1.1 kilometers, 0.7 miles. The second strongest earthquake was equally as strong, 3.4. Little bit deeper of 6 kilometers, roughly 4.7 miles. So they're spreading a little bit and they're varying in depth. We know there's a lot of tectonic stress going on there, right? So it's probably not being caused by what's going on in Svartsengi. This is this continental rift or drift that is happening there. They're happening along the boundary between Europe and North America. We do know that there is a lot of tension. We do have regular earthquakes there, also in the subsurface, because the plates are moving. And while they're moving along the mid-Atlantic ridge, they're stretching apart at a rate of a few inches every year, several centimeters. And with the pizza dough, you keep stretching it. The crust is basically stretched until it ruptures. And these resulting ruptures and fissures, then, they're filled with magma from below. And probably as this is constantly moving, we have a constant refilling of magma from beneath the surface, deep depth. But we do not have evidence that currently that there is magma rising at Eldey so that we could see a volcanic eruption there. There's no land rise detected, for example, that we would need in order to say, yeah, there is something going on. Earthquakes, land rise, right? These are signs that something's going on. We have the land rise in Svartsengi. There's a lot of speculation. Svartsengi is not far away. So the thing is, if you see this as a whole piece of crust, and in one spot you have a bulge rising, and that creates earthquakes because it stretches and thins the pizza dough, right? But if it's not cracking yet, there's stress transfer throughout the whole crust. And if there is a prone area already, could it be stress transfer, right? You can't rule it out. That would be the best case scenario if it's just a stress transfer. The question is, what will be the result of this? Well, we have to wait that out. We really don't have any scientific evidence right now where exactly this is coming from. It's still speculative. We do know it could be tectonic stress. This is maybe the most likely explanation. But, you know, with all the weird things that have been going on in Iceland since November 2023, in this area, there could be more to the story, definitely. And I'm on the story for you guys. A lot is going on. Guys, a mystery. Maybe we discovered something because of Wayne, one of my viewers. Thank you for hinting at this. You have to watch this video, guys, because there is a threat. I bet you don't know about this. A 30-foot tsunami or a magnitude 7-point earthquake. No. I'm not talking about the San Andreas fault. Guys, you need to see this. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like and a hype. Subscribe. If you want to join our nice groups of members and support the channel, click the join button. If you want to fill me up with coffee to keep me going, link is in the description of this video. Thank you guys. Stay safe. I see you in the next one. Bye-bye.